The film you are about to see represents a significant breakthrough in the advancing science of the motion picture. For years, the industrial film has been plagued by the always difficult, sometimes impossible to explain costs of original creative thinking in script preparation, photography, and editing. Now, at last, we are pleased to announce the elimination of these unnecessary irritants through the utilization of a hard-hitting, versatile, and all-encompassing film document, the first truly all-purpose film. When viewing this film, please keep your company name and your product in mind. You are about to witness history in the making.
From the dawn of history, a better way of life has been man's dream, man's goal. A better way of life with freedom from the work, the worry, the hazards, the tensions and insecurities of everyday existence. Through the ages, man clung to his dream and struggled toward his goal. In quest of a better life, men sought and found a new world. And in time, they formed a new nation, dedicated to a better way of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Then westward into the wilderness they pushed, seeking new horizons, still following the dream, braving the mountains and the desert, the broad rivers and the cataracts, the savage hostility of the red man.
Did you ever see so many Indians?
Like, man, there must be a million of them. We better, like, go on back.
What's the matter? You some kind of a nut or something? What about our age-old dream of a better life?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Like wagons, ho!
And they conquered the wilderness. They settled the land. And they built great cities, monuments to their progress. Yet for all their vast achievements, something of their dream still eluded them. Despite the world's highest living standards, the average American remained vaguely discontent, aware that his goal of a better way of life had still not been fully realized. There was something missing.
John?
Yes, Mary?
John, what's happening to us?
I think we both know, Mary.
It's just that we seem to be drifting apart.
I'm sorry, Mary. I've tried.
Oh, I don't blame you, John. It's just that...
It's not your fault either, of course.
It's just that we don't have...
Exactly. There's this awful gap in our lives just because we don't have... Oh, but why talk about it?
It's just that... Oh, I keep hoping someone can find a way to...
Don't be a fool, Mary. You know that's impossible.
Oh, I know. It's just that...
Gad, it's ironic. With all our technology and industrial know-how, we still don't have the one thing that could give us a better way of life. They say it can't be done, that it's just an impossible dream.
But in the laboratories of
Your Name Here,
there is a modest sign. And here, dedicated scientists faced the challenge. Years of heartbreaking failures and setbacks only stiffened their resolve to conquer the problem. And one day, a strange and historic accident.
Uh-oh.
Well, you did it again.
Gee, what a mess. Oh, well. Wait a minute. Maybe. Listen.
By gad, do you suppose this freak accident...
Of course. That's it. That's the answer. We've done it. After all these years, we've invented it.
How about that?
Oh, no. That's no kind of a thing to say. This has got to be some sort of a line that'll get quoted, like, well, how about this? What hath God wrought?
Good. Beautiful. Let me get that down.
And with those historic words, the search was over. From the laboratories of
Your Name Here
had come the key to the secret that had baffled man through the ages. No longer a dream, but a reality was
Your Product Here.
now, for the first time, limitless horizons opened for the nation. A brighter future unfolded. Thanks to
Your Name Here.
employment boom. Not only in the vast modern facilities of
Your Name Here.
but in factories everywhere, geared to supply this vital new industry that is reshaping our economy and transforming the lives of millions. With new,
Your Product Here.
available to all, man is working modern miracles, breaking the boundaries of time, nearing the conquest of space itself. In countless ways, directly and indirectly,
Your Product Here.
serves the nation and its citizens, plays a vital role in helping every American to achieve a better way of life, enables or helps him to enjoy healthful recreation, have well-trained, obedient pets, make friends, have leisure time for travel, grow bigger crops, get real smoking satisfaction, strengthen our national defense, keep romance from fading away, enjoy smoother shaves, live in a more comfortable home, take off ugly fat, achieve success.
John, you mean...
That's right, Mary. I got the promotion. Starting tomorrow, I'm no longer just a shipping clerk. I'm chairman of the board.
And it's all because of...
Your Product Here.
Thus, the
Your Name Here.
story. A story of refusal to admit defeat. A story of gallant men and women who kept faith and who molded the universal dream of a better life into reality through
Your Product Here.
the living symbol of our national heritage. A story in the great tradition of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and the other heroic figures who, like
Your company president here.
dedicated their lives to humanity and whose contributions to the betterment of mankind will never be forgotten.
All right.
Like 10 seconds in.
Perfect. We are live. Welcome, everybody, to our Sunday watch party. I am joined today by Alex Peacock.
Good
Welcome,
evening and
Alex.
good morning, gang.
Okay, that short that we just saw gets me every time. You could literally superimpose that to today's standards, and it still is funny. So the background on that was it was produced in 1960 by the Calvin Communications / Calvin Company, as they're probably better known. Oh, I think you're frozen, Alex. So Calvin Company was based in Kansas City, Missouri, and their business revolved around, oh, it looks like we lost Alex. All right, we'll give him a second to come back. Unless we lost the feed entirely, give me a shout out, guys. Make sure I'm not lost. Because everything looks okay on my end. Okay. Yeah, Alex got eaten up by the gremlins. So Calvin was in the business of making these little promos for companies. Specific companies would hire them. They were a marketing firm, advertising firm, because they had those back in the day. They made this as a direct parody of their own work and the business in general. And it is, so they owned it for the longest time, and then they did not they did not re-engage, re-up the copyright, and the Calvin Company is no longer in business. So I had stumbled upon that short a couple weeks ago. Gets me every time. And it just fits in with what I try to do, give you a little taste of what the cinema used to be like back in the day. Some
Okay,
old time
so
stuff.
that was me. Okay, thanks, GH Zoner. I didn't know if it was Sharon or me or YouTube or
Yep.
something went kablooey.
And it looks like it was just you, so I figured we'd give you a minute or two to come back.
Yeah,
All is
no,
well.
my interweb hiccuped, and yeah,
Yep,
we're
no,
okay for now.
no problem. Yeah, but we're looking good, no issues. So anyway, enjoy that. That's a short that's floating out there. I know a lot of Calvin Companies, productions are out there. Can't guarantee all of them are copyright free, but that little gem, it's just spectacular. And it just sums up a lot of where the industry has gone to these days. And imagine this was done in 1960, and this is the parody they did to reflect the times back then.
You'll have to send me a copy of that so I can send it to my boss.
It is readily available. I believe public domain cartoons.com and also archive.org.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, and I can send you the link.
Okay, yeah. You gotta love 50s and 60s industrial films.
Oh, fantastic. And they're probably in the same vein as some of the ones that we used to watch in school that were produced,
En masse, yeah.
And they have the grainy footage. I can't be the only one that had to sit through all of those old ones in school.
Yeah. Car Crash 101 or The Wonderful World of Asbestos or...
Yeah, and a lot of archaeological, in history or whatever.
All that
Takes
fun
me
stuff.
back.
Yeah.
All right. So today we're also doing a blast from the past. Our little gem today is from 1973. Not only do we see the beginnings of a lot of the star's career, but also the writer, the director,
The producer.
well, the producer. I think Coppola was pretty well known back in the time, but this was the dawning of an era for a lot of the people involved in this movie.
Yep.
Came out in 73, but it's set in 1962. So without further ado, we should all be synced up at about 14 to 15 seconds in, right as the Universal logo comes on. We'll all be on the same version, give or take. If not, we're only a minute or two off. And this movie is almost 2 hours long.
Give or take, about an hour 52.
Yep, hour and 52 minutes. So, if we're all queued up, without further ado, Alex, if you want to give us a countdown, we'll get it going.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
All right.
Universal kicks into some radio static, and then Bill Haley in the comments.
Yep. All right, guys, let me do a shout out. Oh, okay. The beginning of this is so reminiscent if you guys are familiar with 70s and 80s TV, and we'll get into that. I want to do a shout out to everybody who has joined us today. Without all you in the chats, this would not be possible. All right, so in the YouTube chat, we have Miss Swift, we have GH Zoner, Chaos Fear is joining us. Let's see, who am I missing? GH is there. Mad Matt is joining us. Welcome, Johnny Devick. All right, and over in Discord, I see Sith Sister is over there. Alex, you're over there. I think Calbot is over there.
No,
Mr.
Calbot's absent, he said. He has to help a friend move.
Oh, that's right. He posted at the beginning. Yes, he's got to help his brother move.
Raglord's in the house, I think.
Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Yep, I see Sis Sister, who has a laser disc of this.
Outstanding.
That has got to be primo. Yeah. And Miss Swift is over there, Mr. Furzel. All right. If I missed anybody, just raise your hand and give me a shout out. And it looks like in the chat that a couple of you have not seen this one. This is not, this does not have a lot of, it has one explosion. It has one or two fights. This is revolving around the human experience. One night, these guys and gals are cruising through Modesto. This is supposed to be set in Modesto, California at the end of the summer. This is what George Lucas, when he put pen to paper, this is the story that he wanted to tell of a coming of age, emotional, deep connection movie. Yeah, Miss Swift, they are young.
Yeah. Ron Howard coming off of Mayberry RFD.
Yep. And we have Paul Lamat. Lamat. How do you guys pronounce that?
Lamat.
Lamat.
It's how he says his name. Lamat. Ronnie Howard.
Yep, we have Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss, Paul Martin Smith, who would go on to...
Cindy Williams. Literally, you can't shake a stick without hitting a major star. Now, back in the day, this is where you get to see where they are honing their craft. Although, you can't really say that about Ron Howard. He has been acting in the industry since he was 4, 5.
Since he was in short pants, and
same,
and even Richard Dreyfuss has done a bunch of TV by now. By this time.
Yep, but he had yet to break out into the big movies that we really know him by: Close Encounters, Jaws.
Yeah, like after this, he would go on to do Duddy Kravitz up here in Canada, and which basically, as he says in the making of stuff with Jaws, I saw myself on the big screen in The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz, and then called Steven Spielberg and said, "Please let me do your movie," because he was appalled with himself on screen.
Not so much now in this one. They really shine.
Oh yeah.
And at this time, later on, we're going to see much, not a cameo per se, but Harrison Ford
Extended
shows
cameo.
up. Yeah, it's like a cameo, but he is in several scenes.
Yeah. The cameo would be Suzanne Summers.
Yes, Suzanne Summers literally has one or two, probably one
One or,
appearance.
one or two appearances, and then
That's it. And then
her
leave
voice
the
is on a
night.
phone call.
Yep.
Wolfman Jack has more screen time than Suzanne Summers.
Yep. If you blink, you will miss Suzanne Summers, basically.
Pretty much.
Yes, Miss Swift, it's baby Charles Martin Smith and Richard Dreyfuss and a very young Cindy Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a question. GH is saying, is this a Happy Days prequel?
No.
So, yes and no,
Yes and no. Yeah.
but the sequence of events goes there was a show in the early 70s called Love American Style, which was they call it a vignette kind of show. And Happy Days was one of those vignettes, but it was like the prequel to the show. So it was kind of this production placed in this show, never heard of it since, right? Then you fast forward to this movie, and Ron Howard, I believe, and a lot of the same stars were in that little vignette of Happy Days. So the revival of that little vignette was this movie, and that gave, I think, the studio production, the Hollywood glitz and glamour, cause to go back and say, look, that little vignette is now going to be able to work based on the success of American Graffiti. Then you fast forward to the premiere of Happy Days, which I believe was a year after this movie came out. So there was no direct correlation, but yet because of this movie, Happy Days was born.
Yeah.
And you saw at the very beginning of this movie, Mel's Drive-In and Ron Howard, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
So, Matt, yes, the mystery of what happened to Chuck Cunningham. Nobody knows. He vanished without a trace. And this movie, American Graffiti, is centered around Ron Howard plays Steve, right? So yeah, there's four little subplots.
4 stories that are going along. Yeah, we got Steve, played by Ron Howard, Terry, played by Paul Martin Smith.
Yep. Or he's Toad, as he's called in the movie.
Yeah, Terry the Toad. And then we've got whatever the heck Rick Dreyfuss's character's called.
Yep. So Richard Dreyfuss, Kurt is. So Cindy Williams plays Lori. Richard Dreyfuss is Kurt, and they play brother and sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Kurt has his own storyline, and then I think the fourth is Paul Lamont, who plays John Milner. They're all intertwined, but yet they operate independent.
Yeah, they crisscross with each other a little in places, but after a little bit, after this intro, they go their separate ways.
Yep. And I think at the end, then it kind of all coalesces again, and they come together.
Yeah.
They are so young, and I find it fascinating that, of course, Cindy Williams went on to fame and fortune with Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
The crossovers that Laverne and Shirley had with Happy Days, Cindy Williams and Ron Howard were paired up as the characters in their shows as well when they did the crossovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a time being alive back then.
Yeah, and the behind-the-scenes stories on the making of, because this was a month long of night shoots, starting at 9, ending at 6, or ending at dawn. Paul Lamont and Harrison Ford were the oldest two on the set.
Yep.
And there's a story of them at some point throwing Richard Dreyfuss off the upstairs balcony into the pool.
That's what I heard too, and Richard Dreyfuss got injured.
A little bit. Black eye
And-
happens, which is noticeable somewhere in the picture a little bit.
Yeah.
And
And you'll notice, I think there was either on his lip or his forehead, there's a noticeable scar.
yeah, a little bit later in the show, in the movie, it shows up, but
Yep. Yeah, Matt is pointing out, same story of Flash Gordon. Studios say no way, so Lucas made Star Wars instead. Studios scrambled to make a Flash Gordon movie.
yeah.
Star Wars, at this point in George Lucas's career, was in his
It was in his head, but it
in his
wasn't.
head. He wanted to do it, but everybody was passing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Coppola goes to. You'll
Well-
notice on the
On
license plate.
the THX
that-
138. Yeah.
Yes, that is a direct reference to Lucas's
T-
failed movie, which came out a little before this one.
Yeah.
A little bit of a downer, I'm sure, in his career.
Yeah. a little bit
but-
of a downer in
Little-
Tom Hagen's career. Oh God, what's his name? The actor in THX 1138.
Oh, anybody know offhand?
Played Tom Hagen in The Godfather, and oh God, why do I not remember his damn name? I can see his face. I can't remember his damn name. Silly me.
Oh, Robert Duvall.
Robert
Sid's
Duvall,
sister
yeah.
saying Robert Duvall,
Yes, Robert Duvall.
and Miss Swift says it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, yeah, no, George wanted to make Star Wars, and then even after THX, Francis Ford Coppola was like, do an audience-friendly movie. So he went off and wrote that. He went off and started to write this.
right. And I think it was Lucas's wife at the time as well, was encouraging him to write what you know, write what you're good at. And so this is a shift in Lucas's career where he wrote a movie from the heart. Okay, look, Suzanne Summers, don't blink. She's going to be gone. There you go. That's it.
This is back when sedans actually had a proper back seat.
This is
what
when
the-
most cars had proper back seats, right?
Yeah.
So because of this movie and being so successful, everybody involved was able to go on to bigger and better things once the studio knew, hey, we can make money off these people, right?
Yeah.
Even though they still didn't fund, most of the studios out there still said no to Lucas. No,
Oh,
your little,
absolutely,
whatever, your space opera.
Your space movie won't make us any money.
Nope,
And
we're going to pass.
even Universal was on the fence about, well, maybe we'll put this on TV. And like, every test audience loved this thing.
Yeah,
And what else was it?
yep. And I heard it was because of Coppola's persistence, this was not turned into a TV movie. They actually
yeah.
went all out and put it in the theater.
Well, it helps that he had just won an Oscar for Godfather the year before.
Yeah. Coppola had he had credence in the
Yeah.
industry.
He had a couple Oscars under his belt by then.
Oh yeah. GH, yeah, is that an Edsel? I would love, because
Not
I'm
sure.
not a car person. Somebody, if you want to do a deep dive on these cars, I'd be very interested if they are
That's one thing I would have thought would have been
replicas or
on.
the original.
Oh, they're originals. They went out looking for people that had interesting cars, and I'm surprised they've got a music factoid special feature on the disc I'm watching. They don't have a Cars factoid on the disc I'm watching. Like, they don't talk about Paula Matt's yellow 35-year-old Ford Coupe from 1930 whenever, or anyone else's car. Not the T-Bird that Suzanne Summers was in, or this car, which has got fading paint on it, that the daughter of the guy from Mamas and the Papas
Yep.
got out
A
of.
12-year-old Mackenzie Phillips.
Yeah.
One of the requirements, even back in the 70s, was that because she was on set, and I think because of when she was on set,
Yep.
she had to have a legal guardian. And Coppola came forward and said, yeah, I'm going to be her legal guardian. So they went to court, and he became her legal guardian on set. Because what you said, they filmed at night. It took them about a month. Back in the day, even that was unheard of. In less than a month, they were able to get the needed footage and
Yeah.
then some. They started out filming in one town, but then were so rowdy
They were just, the town said get out, and so they went
and
up the road.
unfriendly to the town, and the town kicked them out after the
Yeah.
first night.
Yeah. Well, the town didn't expect it to be that disruptive, and then the town said, sorry, get out. And they went, okay, what are we going to do?
Yep, and they moved to, I believe, Petaluma, which was not far from San Rafael, I believe, was where they started. And there you go.
And there's Toad forgetting he's in reverse in about 10 seconds.
Back then, when you rear-ended someone, I'm sure there was not a scratch on either car.
There's a giant steel bumper and a giant steel bumper. It's just
Yep.
it's just barely that doesn't count. Versus a modern car, your hood goes boing.
Yep, and then it's totaled, and the insurance
Yeah.
flattens the whole car.
Oh, fun. And yeah, well, I think the town they went to, they found this guy that had a giant rocking chair at the auto dealer, and he went, "This'll do. We can do something here." Now it's
Go
like
ahead.
what time of night is it? And the guy's just the owner of the auto place is just sitting on the rocking chair. It's like 8 o'clock at night. What the hell are you doing there, bud?
He's looking for a sucker, I guess.
I guess. Like $98 down. I would love that for a Chrysler of that vintage. Thank you very much.
And I think there's a reference in this movie. One of these vehicles cost $800. That's it. Can you imagine?
Well, $800 in 1973 money
Was a lot.
was nothing to sneeze at.
What I find fascinating was there really was no money that went into the scene setting. This is a real town. They didn't have to dress it up. They didn't really have to do anything. They picked the towns on purpose because of the way they looked, and you really could imagine this is what 1962 looked like. And you really could get lost in that, thinking it really is 1962.
Yeah. Well, parts of some towns, like your main drag, hasn't changed in 20 years.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I think the original town they wanted to film in did look too much like present day 70s, so they had to switch gears. Yeah, Mad Matt posted over there in Discord a picture of Mackenzie Phillips' later work on One Day at a Time, when she really became a star and really got into a lot of trouble.
Oh God, Mad Matt. Thank you for the Thigh Master reference for Suzanne Summers and Miss Swift. Same to you.
Oh, Thigh Master. Oh, yes, yes.
I had to scroll up a second and went, wait a minute. Okay, yeah.
Nothing to sneeze at. She made a fortune.
Good for her.
Yep, good for her. Um, the choice of music in this, all the top hits of the day, except one. They couldn't license the rights to one artist because it was so expensive. And it's a noticeable absence if you reflect back on what kids were listening to in the 60s.
In 1962? Yeah.
Yep, there is one glaring absence, but
Oh
you
yeah,
might not notice.
Elvis isn't in the soundtrack anywhere.
That's
For
right.
late 50s, early
Elvis
60s.
Elvis is conspicuously absent because his licensing fees were astronomical.
Oh, Colonel Parker would probably wanted to bilk the production for, we want X dollars out of the soundtrack. And it's like, sales. And went, no. Sorry,
It's
pal.
exactly right. That's why they couldn't do Elvis.
And we, in the ladies' room, just saw Kathleen Quinlan, who would go on to get an Oscar nomination working with Ron Howard in Apollo 13.
Did she? Oh, would she just like?
And she's right there
You are right.
in the red dress. This was one of her first anything. But she went on to do a lot of TV and a lot of movies.
That's right. We cannot forget her. Um, but she, you know what? She looks so unrecognizable to what I know what she looks like later on.
Well, that happens between the ages of 18, 17, 18,
Yep.
32.
She would have been close to 20, almost 20 years old in this. So,
Yeah. Well, even 20 to 25, there's, faces slim down, all that stuff happens.
yep.
Well, even Cindy Williams is different from this to her screen test for Star Wars, which she did screen test for Star Wars, and then Liver in a
Pretty much
Shirt.
everybody did.
Well, yeah, everyone and their dog did because
Exactly.
Lucas and De Palma had a cattle call for casting, and it's what you did.
Yep. And I believe even Mark Hamill tested for this movie.
Oh, probably.
Um, So it was the setting for this movie is the start of the school year. Lori, Cindy Williams' character Lori, is now becoming a senior. She's 1 year younger than Steve. Steve and Kurt both graduated,
in
and
the summer
they're
semester,
off.
yeah.
I don't think we ever learn what college they're going to, but there's that reference that in the morning they're going to be
going out
heading.
east, yeah.
Yep, they're going to be heading east to the same college. They've made this plan to expand their horizons and move away. And this is kind of like that last moment of, childhood per se in
Yeah.
a lot of these people's lives. Oh, Chaos Fear, the oldies stations now are 70s and 80s. Yeah, when they play oldies now, it's going back to the 80s. And it makes me feel so old because when I was in high school,
The oldies were.
the current music was the 80s and the
Yeah.
oldies was the 60s.
Well, even when I was in high school, the oldie station was a proper oldie station that had a mix of everything from the 50s up to the 80s. Well, 50s up to the mid 60s. Because still the rock radio was still well, the 80s wasn't current, but it wasn't 2000 yet. So that year, that weird, contemporary radio was that weird mix of the last like 9 to 10 years. So you get late 80s stuff, 90s stuff, and then the late 90s to early 2000s was just a weird radio window because the boy bands and all that was coming in, and people say, "Oh, well, this, that, and the other thing." Is like, well, have you heard doo-wop radio in the 50s? It's the same thing.
And that was when I think grunge started coming out mid 90s.
Kurt
Mid or
Cobain
late?
was early 90s because Kurt
Was it?
Cobain and Nirvana in New York was like 94, I want to say, and he died in 95.
Okay. Yeah, well, you guys are going to need to shut up about this. Miss Swift is saying it's getting close to the 90s being oldies. Chaos Fear 90s is classic now. What our classic station changed to, yeah. You
Yeah, oh
guys,
God.
I am feeling so dated.
When the classic rock station starts playing stuff from the late 90s, I'm like, dude, that's not classic rock. Then you
That
go,
just
wait
was
a minute.
yesterday.
But then you go, well, I guess that is over 25 years ago. Shit.
I know. I graduated high school 40 years ago. Hoo-ah. But yeah, there is nothing like the innocence and the pure rock and rollness of 60s.
Yeah.
The 50s going into the 60s when rock and roll was starting to hit its groove. There's just nothing like it.
Yeah. Well, as we just heard,
Miss Swift, thank you. 91 to 92. Sorry.
as we may have heard Wolfman Jack saying, a new group, the Beach Boys. I'm like, new group. Okay. That sets this in a place and time.
Yeah, back then it was. Mamas and the Papas, I think, was coming out 62, 63, or 64. Yeah, God, she looks so young. She really does look 12.
Yeah.
And even in my day in high school, when we went cruising, it looked a lot like this. It was innocent, it was pure, there was no malice ever. Just driving up and down the strip. Okay, Mr. Furzel was saying, I love 80s music, but I would love to hear more 50s, 60s, and 70s stuff more often on the radio. Sith Sister, yeah, you almost have to have your own collection or find some streaming thing to get that now. We have plenty on our PC. There are plenty of playlists and, the music streaming services
Yeah.
that you can find the really good classic stuff.
Reaching back to 90s era internet, I think it still exists, but it might have died already. Live 365, which used to be a thing,
Oh,
which was a bunch of people putting up online streaming of whatever they wanted, like old time radio stuff, all that stuff. I think the site's long since dead.
I don't know. I recall that several years ago or
Yeah.
something like it.
But then now for like free internet radio, there's like Paradise Radio or something like that. You can get curated playlists and that sort of thing. But I was listening to one of my truly local radio stations that isn't just, they flick a switch in Toronto and then here's your radio station from 100 miles away. And they said, oh, other radio stations will play Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. We're going to play this Bee Gees from 1968. Enjoy.
That's enjoyable music.
Yes.
I mean, some music today is pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. So I was at my,
Depends on it's your perspective.
yeah, I was at my local record store yesterday picking up the new Rolling Stones album. And they had the, What Are We Playing set of CDs. And I know it must have cycled through about 4 or 5 songs while I was there. I couldn't tell you the difference between the 5 albums they were playing. I couldn't differentiate between 3 of the female voices, which is weird because they do have kind of unique voices, like Gracie Abrams, Robert Pattinson's wife, and Charlie XCX, and somebody else. I'm like, I should be able to tell these 4 people apart, and
Yep,
I can't.
I couldn't tell any, I don't know any of those.
Yeah.
There is so much music on this movie. I believe
Wall to wall, as
when
Robert Bush called it.
it's the whole backdrop of this movie. There we go. It's Han Solo himself, Bob Falco.
Falfa.
Falfa?
Yeah.
Falfa. What was I thinking? Falco.
Uh,
Oh,
were you
Rocky
thinking?
Amadeus.
Oh, maybe I thought you were thinking the Keanu Reeves football movie.
Nope. Falco, Rock Me Amadeus, the hottest song from 1986, the year I graduated.
Nice.
I get the names mixed up. It's Bob Falfa.
Yeah. And he's wearing a big hat because he wouldn't cut his
Because
hair.
he refused, yeah, he refused to cut his hair.
Yeah, he's like, George, the part's not big enough. I'm not cutting my hair.
Yep, and the reason why he wouldn't cut his hair is he agreed to do this movie
Yeah.
and didn't think it would do much for his career, and he wanted to keep himself open
For
to
others.
audition for more current movies. So you have to have the long hair, so he refused to cut it.
Yeah.
So
Well, it
put a
makes sense.
cowboy hat on him, and
What was I was watching some of the press for, it was either Spider-Man or the Odyssey, and Tom Holland was saying, someone said, "Oh, what do you do after you finish a big production like this? If you have a few months off?" And he said, "Oh, one thing I do, like, he said, Zendaya doesn't always like it, but I end up just growing my hair out, so it gets raggedy, whatever. I just grow my hair out because I don't know what the next part's gonna be."
yeah.
And I don't want to limit it to, oh, he's got really short hair or he's got really whatever. So the hair's just in a place where whatever they need, they can just do it, and I don't care. So that's kind of what Harrison Ford was doing here, where it's like, no, I've got my hair long, and
That's
it
right.
doesn't matter if the character has a crop top or not.
Yep. They wanted to give him that flat top, which was all the rage.
Yeah, it's like honestly, Harrison Ford with Paul Martin Smith's haircut right there. No, just
Yeah,
no.
I don't think it would work.
Like
But what's funny is they didn't do that to Ron Howard. He doesn't have a crop top.
No, but he already had short. Well, actually, no. His hair was getting kind of longish, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's got long hair for the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so GH, he was weird back then too, huh? So I guess Harrison Ford was a little wild back in the day, I guess you could say.
He was a well-regarded carpenter, and according to some people, they're weed dealer. So yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the problems with filming this movie is Paul and Harrison were known as the providers of the
Substances.
organic entertainment,
Yeah.
should I say? The organic entertainment. Because they were the oldest ones. They were like 30 at the time. Yes, Miss Swift, that's Candy Clark as Debbie.
Yep.
She was actually nominated for an Academy Award for her performance
In this?
in this. Yep,
The hell? How did I not know that?
but she didn't win.
Well, no kidding. But I'm looking at the IMDb trivia right now. That's not in there. I'm looking at nominations. That's nominated for 5 Oscars. Okay, let's have a look. Look, see
Yep,
here.
exactly. I'm going to bring up, it was nominated for 5 Oscars.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, Best Picture. Oh yeah, she was up for best. She was up for best, straight up best. Oh, supporting actress.
Supporting actress.
Lucas for director, Lucas for writings, along with Bill and Gloria Hayek,
There we go.
and editing. I'm surprised she didn't win for editing.
Well, don't forget, there was another movie that came out that did a lot better.
in 73 for the 74 awards. That would make
Yep,
sense. There's probably
73
some.
for the 74 awards.
Now I have to pull up the 1974 Oscars to see what the hell's going on.
Yeah, so this movie did get a lot of critical acclaim, um, dominated the box office. In a sense, it was very unexpected because it had such a low budget. I don't think it was the number one grossing movie of the year, but it did exceptionally well. Yes, that's okay. Matt posted over in Discord. First of all, a post of Johnny Fever from WKRP in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I know Bob Falfa's first girl in the car, because he does rotate.
Mm-hmm.
Deborah Lee Scott as Falfa's girl. She was a sweat hog in Welcome Back, Kotter. That's where I know her from.
Nice.
Yeah, GH, they were known as drug dealers back then. Yep.
Well, drug dealer has the.
They were
This-
known on set as
they-
that.
Yeah. That feels like there's a connotation there.
How about they provided the organic entertainment?
Yeah, I was gonna say like drug dealer sounds like the guy in the alley or the guy on the corner. You know, not the guy in the trench coat hawking watches, but
Right.
you know.
Oh, so here we see Kurt's on his own adventure. He is trying to find the girl in the white Cadillac? Thunderbird. In the white
Thunderbird, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at the Academy Awards for '74. That's why Graffiti didn't win, because the
Yep.
Sting won.
The Sting, yep. But there were some heavy hitting movies and some good competition.
Exorcist was up that year.
But this movie did win a Golden
What's it
Globe
about?
for Best Picture, musical or comedy.
Yeah, that's one thing where they say, "Oh, it's a Golden Globe winner for Best Picture." Well, when they split the musical comedy and the drama, it's like, okay, well,
Yep. We gotta go.
oh hey, Paul Lamont won a Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer.
Yep.
Okay, he was already in his 30s, but yeah, hey, Harrison Ford didn't hit until Star Wars when he was 35, so that happens.
Yeah. But this, I mean, this just, there was a comment, who was it that commented, it's, Johnny Devick said, it's strange to see now old actors young, like at the beginning of their career. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but when you look at them on camera, Ron Howard
Yeah.
is a natural. Cindy Williams, I believe, is also unnatural. The
Yeah.
actors in this movie are just naturally charismatic in front of the camera. It's believable. It's an enjoyable ride along in a day in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and Toad here has his own adventure with the car that Steve is letting him use, because Steve says that he's going away to college and he'll be back, for Christmas break. So him and Debbie are on their adventure. Now, should we mention the sequel to this movie? Have you seen the sequel, Alex?
I have. I don't have a copy. I've seen it. I've got the soundtrack. I've got the soundtrack to this on CD, soundtrack to the sequel on vinyl. And it's not bad. It's not spectacular. Even every actor in it will say it's not spectacular. Lucas will say it's not spectacular. He's like, I made American. He's in some other behind the scenes thing. He says, "Oh, well, like, sequels are iffy. Like I made more American Graffiti and nobody saw it. We made
I
Temple of
saw
Doom.
that in the
Like
theater.
we made Temple of Doom and everyone saw it. So
Yeah, it was just one of those movies. I had seen more American Graffiti in '79 before I even saw this movie.
it's kind of weird because you already know what happens to the four guys at the end of this movie.
Right. But imagine I went in there at 11 years old, not knowing
Not
there was a
knowing,
history,
yeah,
but knowing it was a sequel, and it was just like the sequel was its own standalone movie, and it was fun, right? The music was great, and the story kind of carried you along a little bit. But
I
then
like
when
the,
you see
yeah when you
this
see
movie,
this, yeah.
there's like a foundation and a more interesting story in their lives in this movie.
Yeah, yeah, and well, the one thing I remember distinctly in the second one, like there was Paul Lamont still racing cars and all of that, and we see what happens to Terry, which we'll ignore for those out who haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah, if you haven't seen
And
the sequel, yeah, give me a
Harrison,
one in the chat or raise your hand.
yeah, Harrison Ford comes back as a cameo, almost a favor. Uh,
As a short cameo,
yeah,
almost as short as Suzanne Summers.
yeah, he's there in a scene with Candy Clark actually. Uh,
Yeah, he pulls them over, I believe, in the
he's
van.
he's a motorcycle comp. Yeah.
Yep, GH says Dreyfus was too big by then because he was the only actor not to return. He was.
Yeah. Well, after Jaws and
Close Encounters.
Close Encounters, and he'd got his Oscar by then for whatever the heck it was.
Goodbye Girl.
Yeah.
Yep, he was a big star, probably bigger than Harrison Ford. That's questionable, but he definitely
Before
did.
1980, he would have been bigger than Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford wasn't Harrison Ford until 1984. After, you know,
After Star Wars and Indy.
after Star Wars, Empire, Indy, Blade Runner,
Yeah.
whatchamacallit, Witness, etc., etc., etc.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Witness.
His only Oscar nomination. His
Well
only
deserved
Oscar,
nomination.
true. His only Oscar that he owns is an Irving Thalberg lifetime achievement that was given to him by Ben Affleck.
When did he get that? Did I miss that in the
That was
history books?
that was like 2002, 2003,
Oh, wow.
because Ben Affleck was gonna be playing the Jack Ryan character in his one outing as Jack Ryan. And because Harrison Ford was known as having played Jack Ryan twice, they went, "Oh well, let's get Ben Affleck to give it." And I'm like, "Okay, that's a choice, but there's
Interesting.
no way in hell Ben Affleck would say no to giving Harrison Ford an Oscar." But
I
this
don't
is
think anyone would say no.
this is back when they still aired the entire presentation on the broadcast, not the here's what happened at the governor's ball. It's like Tom Cruise
Oh,
got
back
hit.
when they were watchable.
Oh, back when the Oscars were watchable, yeah. Like even
Exactly.
like Tom Cruise, after one or two nominations, has an honorary Oscar, which he got at the governor's ball.
I think I remember that. He got that a couple years ago, didn't he?
Tom Cruise just got it like last year.
Okay. Um, yeah, hello. You're trying to be quiet. Okay, momentary interruption. Um,
And here we've got the
Okay.
worldizing of the music, where the music is happening around Kurt.
This movie has nonstop music, so much so that there is no score to it. It's just wall to wall soundtrack. And
Yeah.
I don't think they even know until after they were kind of putting the movie together and editing it. And at the end of production, they didn't need a score. They didn't need any additional music to tie the movie together because they already had so much.
And as Lucas has said, he writes to music, so he wrote in this song's playing or whatever, and then when they went to get the music licensing rights, the music supervisor position wasn't a thing, didn't exist. So, Walter Murch went out and said, "Hey, can we get this?" And whoever on the crew would reach out to whoever they needed to. Can we get this, and this? Got everything for dirt cheap pennies. And then the soundtrack goes bananas. And that would never happen again. So when they went to get the music for more American Graffiti, they were like, "Pay us."
Exactly.
And then song scores, you look at The Big Chill. Lawrence Kasdan also did that score as he went to his wife and said, "What's the music we like?" She put together a mixtape. When he went to the studio, said, "We want all this." And they went, "That's going to cost some money." And he went, "And you're going to sell how many of those?" Same thing happened with Dirty Dancing. And
Yeah,
what was
Dirty
it?
Dancing has a very
It was
interesting
insane.
history.
Yeah, because there was a song in Dirty Dancing, I think, "Do You Love Me" by the Contours wasn't on the original soundtrack, but that was an era where they would do more music from, and they would put the rest of the needle drop music that wasn't in the first release, because there's more than 40 minutes worth, and then it would go on the second one. So I'm like, oh, this bit's funny here. Terry trying to
Oh, yeah, this is
Terry, Terry,
hysterical.
Terry trying to get booze.
He's trying to pay people to buy him booze, which still happens to this day. Underage kids are always trying to get alcohol. Mr. Furzel just noticed the license plate, THX 138.
Yep.
Yeah, a direct reference. Yeah, Johnny Devick is an interesting comment. Gross Point Blank, maybe inspired by this in the use of music. I think a lot of movies might have been inspired by this, the way that they use music.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
if
Grosse
you're
Pointe-
lucky enough,
Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, if you're lucky enough as a movie producer or movie director or in charge of finding music for your movie, you can find them for a reasonable fee. There was a time where they were selling their rights to put their music in movies for pennies on the dollar, not thinking it was a big deal, but now the more it is used in movie, the more that they know they can profit on it. Like you said, Alex, show me the money, right?
Yeah. Or they'll hope to, because I was watching another movies behind the scenes, the 90s Romeo and Juliet with Claire Danes and Leo DiCaprio, which also had a massive soundtrack in the 90s.
Yeah.
And the head music guy at Fox at the time, who's in the documentary, explained that they would go out to the major music labels as a way of getting extra money to pay off the cost of the movie, to say, do you want your catalog of people on our soundtrack? And rather than pull from 5 different places, they'll go, Capitol Records has the deal, CBS Records has the deal for the music on the soundtrack, and you'd use the stable of their people, which I thought was interesting, because if you read the notes on the soundtrack for this, because Lucas was just going for whatever was at the time of the era, it's like so and so appears courtesy of XYZ Records, appears courtesy of whatever records. That doesn't happen anymore. You don't get to do a massive sweep of I want this, 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 and this. Not anymore. But yet, to old Johnny Devick's point, Gross Point Blank does have worldizing of the music, because one of the main characters, played by Minnie Driver, is the local radio disc jockey.
Exactly. There was also a movie, High Fidelity, with Jack Black.
And also John Cusack.
I believe, also John Cusack, which was centered around
a record store.
Music. I mean, what's classic about this movie is it's just wall to wall, nonstop hits of what you would hear in 1962 without Elvis. And I believe when they released this soundtrack as an album,
double album,
there were 41 or 43 songs on it.
Yep, double album with Wolfman Jack bumpers in there, all of it. Yep. And here's the guy holding up the liquor store.
Yep, but at least got his liquor.
Here comes the owner. Clearly, the owner had a pistol under the counter.
Oh yeah, clearly this has happened to him before, and he comes out shooting.
And here's an interesting character bit with John Milliner here. He clearly knows,
I was just going to say, I
dog.
love this bit or this scene.
Yeah. Automobile graveyard.
He, in essence, has been babysitting this girl all night.
Yeah.
But they are having fun cruising like he would with anybody. And he's very protective of her and treats her like a child, as he should. He's never, I was going to say he's never inappropriate. There's one kind of cringe moment later on, but there's a very specific reason why he does it. But he is very protective of her, just like if she was his little sister. This is a very touching scene. And in essence, for those of you that have not seen this movie, this is kind of a foreshadowing event to what we're supposed to believe happened later on to these characters. If you haven't seen the sequel, I would not highly recommend it, but it was certainly an interesting movie. It almost made me dizzy, though, watching it.
It's much fast. It's much more intercut, much more fast than this one.
Yeah, and there are split screens. There are, different angled shots, and it's just weirdly presented at times.
And
for a very specific purpose, they did it.
And for the longest time, it was out of print on home video. I think it's on. I think the only way I've seen it recently is in like a DVD 2-pack with this and the second.
Nope, it is available. It's available on at least Amazon.
That's good. And is like home video, like on disc?
Just a digital. But yeah, for the longest time, you wouldn't be able to see it. Well, it's on a lot of the streaming services. It's on Philo? How do you say that?
Don't
know. It's a free streaming service here in the States. But yeah, it has been a while since I've seen that. But yeah, give it a watch, and it kind of continues on these characters' lives. Oh, Johnny Devick is saying, have seen this, but so long ago, can't remember much. Here we go. These guys in this group, this gang. Yeah, tough guys. The Pharaohs.
The Pharaohs.
the Pharaohs show up in the sequel. I don't, do you remember, Alex, the scene that they show up in?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is it the same guys? Like
It's
Bo, what's his name, and the other two
it's
guys?
the same guy, um, the head guy of the Pharaohs, whatever his
Yeah,
name
Bo
is.
Hoskins, not something like Bo something or other.
Yeah, he shows up in the sequel in a minor role, but not because obviously Richard Dreyfuss is not in the sequel, but he's in a totally different scenario.
Yeah, Ron, the Richard Dreyfuss character is up in Canada, and
Yep.
the Ron Howard character is being, let's
See if you
say,
remember.
he's being in a bit of an abusive ass to his wife Cindy. That's as polite as one can be about what the character is doing in that particular scene.
Sure.
He's not quite as well, not nearly as bad as what's his name in The Godfather is to the daughter of the Godfather, who's straight up beating a pregnant woman. That doesn't happen in that does not happen in More American Graffiti, but there's yelling and things are thrown.
Yeah, there's fighting, right?
Yeah,
There's a couple yelling fights.
yeah, and it happens in the kitchen, so pans and
Yeah.
things are thrown. But
Interesting though, they're portraying this gang, these hoodlums. Certainly nothing like what you would call today's hoodlums, and you would probably call them more criminal gang activity.
yeah,
Versus in the 60s, these guys were just troublemakers. And yeah, they're thieves.
he's
Yeah,
got
they are.
shag carpeting in the back window of the car.
Pimp mobile, right?
Sure. The back window on that car can't possibly be legal. It's not even 6 inches tall. You can't see out that window.
That's true. Yeah, GH is calling them greasers. That's exactly what they used to be called.
Yes. And I'm surprised because there's a line and a fight with greasers in Indiana Jones 4. Yes, I know there's members of our community that don't think anything happens after Last Crusade, but there's a scene in a
There is.
diner with greasers in Indiana Jones 4. And they could have had a Pharaoh's jacket on one of them, but they didn't do that.
Oh, interesting.
They did not do that. They did have one of Steven Spielberg's daughters commence the fight by throwing a glass against the head of one of the greasers. Because her boyfriend gets shoved and she says, "That's my boyfriend," and takes a mug and throws at the guy's head.
I did not know that. Yeah, Miss Swift, if they're stealing, they're criminals. Yeah. So these guys are like the criminal element.
Yeah, well, considering here's Bob Falfa again with girl number 2 in the car.
Girl number 2 or 3? 2?
Yeah, but what's their big crime? They go and knock off the arcade. That's
Yeah, and there's another scene.
well, that's when they talk Richard Dreyfuss into
And they talk Kurt into yeah.
strapping hooks onto the back axle of a police car, which is hilarious.
Exactly.
I like that. You got a bitchin' car. I know.
He had to. I think he's what would be known as like the big man of the strip.
Yeah,
He's got the
the
classic.
local big guy. Yeah.
He's the local big guy, and Bob Falfa comes in from where did he come in from? They said the name of the city.
He's in from wherever. I forget exactly where.
Does anybody remember where they said Falfa came in from? Looking for the head guy who they were going to race.
Now, I'm just thinking, what possible need would there be to have giant ass searchlights of that caliber on
I rewatched.
on a random street corner?
I know. I rewatched this yesterday, and I still can't figure out what they were like advertising.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. On the
yeah.
night they filmed this, did they just happen to be there?
It probably helped them with local lighting, because it's not like a lot was part of the thing with the town too, is they wanted to have, with the worldizing, like have the lights on for the storefronts, and not every storefront said yes. So that's why some of the ones in the background are off. But again, it makes sense for them being, up all night. Not everywhere's going to have their lights on. And what's Terry doing here? Oh yes,
He is on, well, as they would say in Happy Days, inspiration point with a lady, and he has his alcohol. Um, Mr. Furzel is asking, Jesus, a lot of intra-vehicle violence in this flick. Was it like this back in the 60s?
mm,
Um, Lucas has said that the inspiration for this screenplay was his childhood in the 50s,
mm-hmm.
and he borrowed heavily from where he grew up. So
Yeah.
I would say probably yes. I would say most of this is a reflection of what Lucas experienced with his friends at the time.
Yeah. And as he has said, when he went to college, he enjoyed anthropology classes. He noticed that, okay, well, kids are growing up, the cruising aspect or use of the automobile with meeting people of the opposite sex or whatever particular gender one is interested in, then using the automobile was uniquely American. But, going to the town square, that would be somewhere in Europe or wherever else. But the car was uniquely American, and he realized that by the time he was making movies in the 70s, that era had gone by. So he wanted to have some documentation of it, so he wrote the script. And this bit here, they had to reshoot because they thought, oh yeah, there's enough light. And cinematographer was like, I'm not sure. George was like, well, it's because it's make it look natural. It's like just blackness, just black. Audio, but black. It's like, no, we need to light this somehow.
Yeah, there is very minimal cinematography.
Of active additional lighting, yeah.
Right. Um, I don't want to say the cinematography, the camera work it wasn't done by amateurs by any stretch of the imagination. There just wasn't a huge studio production setup of the cameras. A lot of these shots were actually cameras on cars, actually cruising up and down the strip.
Yep.
What's a good way of saying that? It's crude and does the trick.
Yep.
No fancy shots, no fancy camera work.
Well, even the film stock and whatnot that they used, I'd have to look up, but they used a process bit on the cheap and dirty, as it were. Like, it's not 70 mil, it's not Super 35. It's not 16 mil, but it's like they shot 35 like it was 16 mil to, make best use of the film or best use of whatever they had. So that also makes it have a certain look to it. So it's one of those where I remember when the 4K came out, people were like, "Oh, it doesn't, it doesn't look super spectacular." It's like, well, look at the source material. There's only so good it can possibly look.
Exactly.
This isn't Ben-Hur that's been preserved and happily looked after, or Gone with the Wind, which is coming out later this year, which has 3-strip Technicolor. They can go back and scan everything in, blend it all together. It's shot in such a way and lit in such a way that, no, you're not going to pull any detail out of the black behind this guy's shoulder because it's not there.
Exactly. It is as close to natural as you can get.
Yeah.
But like you said, that scene before, they had to reshoot because you couldn't see anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when they're out at the makeout point.
Yeah.
In the car. It's like, no,
Inspiration point.
Inspiration point. Okay.
As they would say on Happy Days.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't approve of what these guys are doing here and stealing from the pinball machines. That ain't cool.
Yeah. Oh God, the guy on the right with the nose. What the hell else have I seen him in?
Is he known? Okay, anybody in the chat? Can you do a quick search? Because this is the only scene that he is in. I don't think he shows up anymore.
But he's been in stuff, and I can't remember it.
Have someone get his name and find out what else he's been in.
Oh God, was he in?
Let's see if anybody can do a little sleuthing.
Was he one of the jurors at the end of Tucker with Jeff Bridges? And Tucker only comes to mind because I randomly found it on Tubi yesterday, and I should rewatch that. But
I saw Tucker in the theater. But yeah, I'm drawing a blank on this guy.
So am I. But I'm like, those eyebrows and that nose are very distinct. Let's look up the list.
That's going to require a little bit of searching. Because he is in that one scene. I'm sure he's credited.
Oh yeah, I'm going to the full cast on IMDb here. Kathleen Quinlan, Terrence McGovern. Bum at liquor store. Okay, that's not him.
Bum at liquor store. Was that the guy who robbed the liquor store?
No, that was the guy that. I lost my ID, but she wasn't in a flood, though. That was him. Let's see. Rest of cast.
So while you're searching that, the interaction with Lori and Steve, isn't that just reminiscent of Young Love? He's going off and he says, we ought to see other people, right? That's code for I'm going off to college. And yeah, I hear the college women are not high school girls, so we need to see other people. Lori's response should have been, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea. Go for it. And she should have then had her fun. But this is very typical Young Love. And she's got 1 year of high school. He's going off without her. Yeah, GH is saying, yeah, he's a douche. But we all know that's code. We ought to see other people.
Yes. Okay. The guy I'm thinking of. Al Nalbandian, who was in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978, which we saw a few weeks back.
That might be where you recognize him from as well.
I remember him as one of the guys on the jury in Tucker. But he was in Streets of San Francisco, a couple episodes there. He was in The Conversation. Not in a whole lot.
Was he in it?
He was in So I Married an Axe Murderer, 1993, with
Interesting.
Mike Myers. He was Principal McGee in that movie Jack with Robin Williams, where he ages at like 15 times the rate of a normal person. So
Yes.
I think he's one of those actors that is in the returning stable of Coppola actors as backgrounders or small bits, because everything he's been in, for the most part, is well, one, two, well, four or five things at least are Coppola related productions.
Interesting. I know Tucker came out. It had to have been
88.
was it early 90s or late 80s?
It was late 80s.
Okay.
88, which
Very
was another Coppola Lucasfilm production featuring a young-ish Christian Slater.
Oh boy. I think I saw that movie once in the theater and never revisited. Which probably means it's an OG movie.
So did everyone else at the time, because it made no money.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst movie, but I don't recall it being
It's-
anything special.
It's a straight-ahead biopic. It's good. The acting's good. Martin Landau's in it, other guys, but it's not the highlight of anyone's career.
Yeah, not
It's
the worst. I don't think it was a career killer.
no. Jeff
To
Bridges
anybody.
went on to make many other things. Christian Slater went on to do many other things. Martin Landau already had a career, so
Oh yeah. Martin Landau's career just kept getting better and better.
right through the Majestic. Mm-hmm. And for the is Martin Landau?
What was his last role? Was it The Majestic?
No, he's done.
Does anybody remember offhand what his last role was?
I'm gonna have to IMDb this. I could have sworn he was dead, but he's not dead yet, according to IMDb. No, he died in 2017. Okay.
Yeah, he passed away a little bit ago.
Almost 10 years ago now. That Ward, Abe and Phil's last poker game. Okay.
Oh, Miss Swift is saying never saw it, but remember it being critically acclaimed and Martin Landau getting the Oscar nom. Started Jeff Bridges' prestigious run.
Well, yeah, I guess from 88
I
to
guess.
later. So what was Jeff Bridges' 90s career like? Let's have a look-see here.
Wasn't he nominated also for Starman, which was 84?
Yes, I want to say
But-
yes.
I think, yeah, that was the time where his career, he was in everything and it really started to take off, and he was one of the it actors.
Oh, he was an it actor since Last Picture Show in 1970 whatever.
Here we go. Falfa and John Milner's first introduction.
Yeah, it's like, I ain't nobody, boy.
That's right.
Yeah. That can't be your car. That must be your mama's car. I'm embarrassed to be this close to you. Yeah, driving a field car. What's a field car? Runs around.
Yeah, does Falfa have a girl in the car at this point? Are we on number 3 yet? Yes. Is this a
yeah.
different gal?
I can't tell between her and the one before, but at some point this girl leaves and Cindy gets in the car.
Yep, Cindy would be number 3. Mm-hmm. I'd jump in the car with him and go cruising for a while. I'd go in Milner's car. It's a lot of fun doing that.
Mm-hmm. So I know Milner's got like a 33, 32 coupe. I don't know what type of car Falfus Drive-In, though.
Oh, does anybody want to do a search? So Harrison Ford has more screen time in this movie than he does in the sequel.
Yeah, he has one scene in the sequel.
He's got like one scene, I think he actually says a line, one or two lines in the sequel.
Yeah, do you know how fast you were going back there, et cetera, et cetera? Or that was a stop light back there.
Something like that, yeah.
Not a suggestion.
Candy Clark's got quite a prominent performance in the sequel. She's got an interesting storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, looking back on that movie now, I remember it being significant, but looking at it in relation to this movie, it's kind of like an I mean, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It's not the worst movie, it's not the best movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's Kurt's initiation into the Pharaohs coming up in a minute.
In the Pharaohs, yep. Isn't it interesting? Ron Howard looks the exact same in this movie as when he does Happy Days.
They were only about, 2-3 years apart, though.
It's only about, like a 2-year period. During the filming of Happy Days is when he really grew up, and you could tell that he was not just a young kid, he was a grown man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's one where, and it happens where it's like, you cast a 20-something and they're playing a few years younger than they are. Mm-hmm. At some point they're, if the show keeps going, you realize, oh, they're pushing 30. And the actor goes, oh crap, where did my 20s go? Yep.
Mr. Furzel is asking, is this head pharaoh the sidekick in Smokey and the Bandit? No, not the same guy. Jerry Reed played the sidekick in Smokey and the Bandit. And this guy is played by, anybody know offhand?
Where's his name? Bo Hopkins.
Oh, that's right, because they were mentioning that in the chat before. Sis Sister mentioned it. Yeah, Bo Hopkins.
Bo Hopkins died in 2022.
Yep. Yeah, Sis Sister saying, yeah, don't think so, but very similar. Him and Jerry Reed could be brothers. Mm-hmm. Snowman, thank you, Mr. Furzel. That was Jerry Reed's name in Smoking the Bandit. Snowman. And was he in Smoking the Bandit 2? Was Jerry Reed in the sequel?
I
think he was. Wasn't he in the beginning at least? Oh, that would be a fun movie to watch. Smoking the Bandit.
And that was the
Jackie Gleason, Sally Field.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Sally Field and Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, yeah.
With another outstanding hat.
Swift is saying he was in one of the sequels playing Bandit. Ooh, how many sequels were there? After the second one, I was not aware that there were any more.
Oh, is that like when they made more midnight runs, but it's Malcolm McDonald as opposed to Robert De Niro, so they recast the main role?
Maybe I think I'm thankful that at some point I just stopped paying attention to sequels at all.
Yeah.
Midnight Run didn't need a sequel. Smoking the Bandit didn't need a sequel after the second one. The second one I thought was fun.
Oh, having seen Midnight Run 2, 3, and 4, they're the same movie.
Ah,
Midnight Run 2, Midnight Run 3, Midnight Run 4 are basically the same movie.
ah.
Not the same movie as Midnight Run 1. They're just the same movie as each other. And
Ugh.
they're very much, movie of the week
Recycled.
movie of the week TV production value.
Your company here. Let's recycle it.
Pretty much, yeah. Your plot here. Insert character.
Insert movie here. So GH, I think there were three altogether, like three Smokey and the Bandits.
Oh, here's a fun bit.
Oh, and here's the initiation bit.
Yeah.
Not too fun if you're driving the vehicle, I must say.
Yeah.
And it's not harmless prank. I mean, that's some serious damage, but
That tore out the axle and the back half of the exhaust
Yep.
system.
But
And
looking
on,
back,
and on a rear-wheel drive police car, that will stop
oh,
it in its tracks.
yeah, that the car is done with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, Chaosphere. There is a Smokey and the Bandit prequel filming currently. Ugh.
Oh, good God, Ron.
Oh no.
That just
I don't hold out any hope for that, but maybe be pleasantly surprised. Chaosphere it's a Universal and Netflix production.
maybe they'll get Sally Field to do a bumper narration front and back.
I think she's going to stay away from that based on
Her history with Bert, I would think so.
her history with Bert. I
Yeah.
think out of any malice. I think she's past that, but she's got too much class, I think, and her career is
Oh, she's been
booming.
fine. She's been fine for
She doesn't
quite
need
some
to do
time.
it. And I would actually encourage her, please stay away from this, Mrs. Sally Field. Stay away from that. I don't care how much money they throw at you.
Well,
Yeah.
I would echo that sentiment, but depending on the size of the dump truck full of money, let's be sensible to your friends in the state and take the dump truck full of money. So what was who it was
I know who you're thinking of too.
Paul Lamont from oh God, yeah, Paul Lamont from Friends. It's like when somebody said, what's the, whatever you took away from the last couple of seasons of Friends and then doing Joey, he said a couple dump trucks full of money. One of those where I don't ever have to work again a day in my life.
Okay, and there's another actor I'm thinking of. The name escapes me.
But yeah, well, when actors would get, ridiculous money per episode or per season, it was best explained by Jason Alexander when he was explaining why did he and Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Michael Richards, whatever, group together to say we want X, like $1 million an episode or whatever it was. He said, "Is that healthy for TV? No, not remotely. But we knew how successful the show was. We knew our characters were integral to that success, but we also knew we weren't seeing a dime on the back end,
Yeah.
whereas Jerry and Larry were. Nothing against them,
Exactly.
like nothing against them doing that. They deserve it. They created it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But if we're this integral to the movie, when this eventually ends, we want to be able to not have to work a day in our life if we don't want to. So they negotiated that. Good for them.
Yeah, exactly. I think that power is coming into a lot of the actors in Hollywood who didn't used to have that power because of the power of streaming, right?
Yeah.
They never got anything on the back end, but now they're
Mm-hmm.
seeing that's a very powerful negotiation point
Mm-hmm.
that they are trying to get that back end.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Caine, that's the name I was trying to think of his name for the life of me.
Yeah.
Michael Caine once famously said that, yeah, Jaws 3D was a piece of crap, but at least it bought me a house.
Yep.
So,
It's like
okay.
I've never seen it, but I've seen the house it bought. I was able to buy my mother.
So,
So
okay.
it's like that, yeah. And we're about to come up to the Wolfman Jack scene.
Yes. Which, funny enough, I don't recall Wolfman Jack ever really being a disc jockey in California. I think he was basically in the Midwest, New York, East part.
He was, as I understood it, I wasn't
Oh,
alive at the time, but you told he was like basically syndicated everywhere, right?
yeah.
And
Oh,
as
yes, you
as
were
like
just saying, yes, Jaws the Revenge. Yes.
yes, Jaws 4,
Even
yeah,
worse.
yeah.
Yeah, but if memory serves, I know Wolfman Jack was syndicated, but he did start off as a local DJ
Oh yeah,
and
a
slowly
little
built up.
local somewhere, yeah.
He was local somewhere, and I want to say it like Midwest Kansas City area. Am I?
Mm-hmm.
I could be way off because I really haven't researched him all that much.
And there's, clearly he convinced the girl to get in the car, but I'm like, okay, you clearly he was smart enough not to get Mackenzie Phillips in the car because clearly she looks 12. But then the girl that's wearing a high school Letterman sweater, you let in the car, that's equally stupid, my friend.
He should have gotten into so much more trouble. 30-year-old man with a 12-year-old girl in the car. Yeah, that's real sus.
Well,
Yeah.
the Milner character isn't 30. The Milner character is
He's a nice
early.
guy, decent.
He's let's say he's in his early 20s, never really left town after high school, kind of thing. But yeah,
Johnny Devick is reminding us all that yes, Jaws the Revenge is horrible. It is horrible.
do we dare put that on a watch party where we just tear it apart?
If you know what, if we're gonna do that, because I want to do that, I want to pick a movie that is so bad. I think that might be too bad. Jaws
Yeah.
the Revenge, I think, is over the top.
Hey,
I would love to do
Mario Van
something that.
Peebles was good in that movie. He survived being down a throat gullet.
But how about The Room? Anybody want to do The Room?
Oh, I would have to avoid that on principle.
Or is The Room also as bad?
Oh, The Room is worse. The Room is.
And they don't even try to be good. I mean, everybody knows it's bad. Oh, Sith Sisters, I'm down for a Jaws 4 riff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Anybody up for a Jaws 4? I still have open spots this year. Oh, actually, you know what? The beginning of September is when I slotted for a movie riff. I'm looking at either Troll 2 or Sharknado. We could do Jaws 4.
See, Sharknado has a cult following now, where
Yeah.
the studio that made it, they knew they were making a piece of crap.
Right. And I think Troll 2, they also knew they were making a piece of crap. I don't know if they've even tried.
Like, Jaws 4 has redeeming elements. Overall, meh. Has redeeming elements. Would a shark follow a person from New England down to the Bahamas where the water temperature is so diametrically opposed? No. And here's a piece of cinema. How often do you actually see time spent on someone retching? And it's actively a character piece. Like, there's the bit in the baseball movie with The League of Their Own, where they spike the chaperoness's whatever, and she's hurling so they can go out dancing, right? And the doctor comes in and says, in all my years, I've never seen a grown woman throw up that much. The same kind of thing happens here. Clearly, he is having a bad experience with the old Harper. And he has found the car.
But if you consider he's trying to
he's acting up for the girl.
For her, right? Mm-hmm. He's nervous. He's probably never been with a girl.
So you're saying he had a really good night then?
I think he had a really good night.
Yeah. And there's Milner.
Miss Swift is saying, okay, Porky's too. I'm getting a lot of good suggestions for a good riff movie. Sith Sisters up for Trolls 2, Miss Swift. How about Porky's 2? Any Given Sunday, Porky's 2, maybe.
Was Wolfman Jack the guy in That Thing You Do? No, he was not. In That Thing You Do with Tom Hanks.
Oh, that wasn't that bad, That Thing You Do.
Well, that was a good movie. Both versions.
Yeah, if you really want to get a movie that is fun to riff on, we've got so many to choose from. But I have September set aside for one, but I could always switch them up if we want to talk about it some more. Troll 2 might be a fun one. Maybe over Sharknado or Jaws 4. Jaws 4 might just be the bottom of the barrel.
It's like, I've been sick recently. This thing out of activity can be hard to guy. And Milner comes to the rescue.
Yep, and I think, because we're approaching the last 20 minutes of the movie, he dropped off, what was Mackenzie Phillips' character's name? I feel like I should know that.
I can't remember.
Yeah, he was nice. He is a nice guy and dropped her off at home.
Yeah. And
Miss Swift is saying, sorry, the movies I mentioned weren't for riffing, but for puking being a character moment. Yes, you are right.
And in this brief scene here, he gets the actor got to use his boxing background.
Was he a boxer? I did not know that.
Before he was an actor, yes, he was. And it's a Terry the Toad moment. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm fine. I'll be dead soon. Then we've got Steve.
Steve is regretting his decision, I think, with Lori. He's kind of rethinking being a douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Furzel, fuck yeah, Milner. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He is, and he continues to be a really good guy in the sequel as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Milner was never a jackass.
Right. Good point, Miss Swift. There are bad movies we can tolerate and bad movies we can't. And so in relation to what Chaos Fear says, there are movies other folks hate that I don't mind. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So at some point, I'll choose a movie that we can riff on. It might not be a universally known movie that is bad but good to riff on. It could be one that you guys can't tolerate, and someone might just think it absolutely is bottom of the barrel. You can't sit through it, and I get that.
Absolutely. It's like is it a solid B movie? being The Scorpion King with Dwayne Johnson. It's a
I don't know,
solid.
haven't seen
It's a solid B movie. Is it as good as Mummy or Mummy 2? Hell no.
No, I'm sure it's not.
But it's a fun little action movie. Like, can that be riffed on? Absolutely.
I think any movie can be riffed on.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think the key is to find a movie that is just made for it without making us want to puke at the end of it and think we've wasted 2 hours of our life. Yeah, that's the key.
Pardon me.
Debbie, you know what? Debbie almost looked like a real a-hole for saying what she had said to him, and she almost like was ditching him because he didn't have a car. But she is a pretty okay character here, and in the sequel as well, she proves to be a rather interesting character.
Yeah. And as, like, he's got his Vespa that's broken down 10 feet away. He's like, oh, I mess around with this. And he's, that's almost a motorcycle, and that's fine with me.
Yeah, she's a pretty decent person. But I didn't know that Vespas were popular back in the 60s.
I don't know how popular they were, but,
I don't know.
he had one. They're they're semi-popular now, too.
Yeah.
They're still making
I
them.
think they're more popular now or maybe it's just my perspective. But she looked so young in that scene, didn't she? She probably looked 18, 17 or 18.
That's about how old she was supposed to be.
Really?
Well, maybe she's 19. I don't know.
Was she supposed to be, because a lot of these characters are still supposed to be in high school.
Or
John
right
Milner-
on the cusp. Milner's a couple years
Milner's
out.
not. Right.
Yeah, Milner's not. No.
But I think it was only Steve and Kurt that had graduated. I think the rest of them were still in high school.
Still, yeah, I think so. Like Toad's a year back, I think, and there's Kurt, breaking and entering into a radio station
Basically.
after hours.
And here we have our cameo of Wolfman Jack.
Is it a cameo or it's basically
I
surrounding one location, one scene. So it's a extended cameo.
Yeah,
As
and
like
they
Bob
have a
Felker
nice
said.
little scene together. Good question, Swift. Wasn't the Vespa popular with the 60s mod subculture? That's a
Yes,
very
it
good
was.
question.
Yeah.
Does anybody know?
I
was
want
unfamiliar
to
with
say yes. Vespa also featured prominently in Roman Holiday with Gregory Peck and who's her face, but that was set in Rome, so Vespas were in Rome, which was a thing.
GH was even mentioning they love them in Italy. And in Europe, obviously, with the roads just historically as narrow as can be and not made for vehicles.
Yes, they were made for horse transportation.
Oh, look how young he is. Wolfman Jack's real name is
Oh God.
Robert Weston Smith.
And around this time and after, he was doing Midnight Special.
Was he?
I
Yeah,
was.
he was well known at this point. Very well known. And he was even active on the radio when I was in junior high school. Of course, I believe I remember him when he went gray, and he that was part of his persona, his hair and his beard with the gray salt and pepper.
Yeah, around then would have been when it was longer and slightly shaggier. That would have been when he was doing Midnight Special. A bunch of the Midnight Special performances can be found on the Midnight Special YouTube page.
Oh, that is a blast from the past.
Yeah, for those that were looking for their 50s and 60s stuff, it's a lot more 70s stuff, which was contemporary to when they were on TV. You know, John Denver's early greatest hits and a bunch of other people.
This is an interesting conversation point. We all know Wolfman Jack is known for his raspy voice, which I believe was his natural voice. That's how he naturally talked. It wasn't a persona. His voice in this scene, is this an act? Is his raspy voice the persona that he puts on?
I think it's the persona. I can't say for sure. Like you know, if your voice is naturally that kind of raspy, like the late Bonnie Tyler, then you can't fake out of that because your vocal cords are naturally going to do that. So it's easier to put on a rasp and fake that than the reverse, I would think.
That would make sense, that he's able to switch into that persona
Yeah.
as an act and then get into that regular voice.
Yeah.
And I believe this movie is the only time I have ever heard him speak in that normal voice, which is disconcerting. Here we go. Girl number 3? 4. 3.
Being Cindy Williams.
Yep. Yep, I think Laurie is number 3 or 4.
Odd that he didn't notice Laurie in the car just now and say, Laurie, get the hell out, until they get to where they're going to race.
I think she's purposely trying to hide, so not everybody knows that she's with Bob.
Yeah.
This is an interesting scene. Before our watch party, there was an interesting discussion in the chat in Discord about the versions of this movie. I probably have seen the theatrical at some point way back when, but this version is the one that I'm more familiar with, when they have Harrison Ford doing his little a cappella
Yeah.
and trying to woo Laurie.
Yeah.
That was an added scene to the re-release, which has now become, I believe this movie is now the canon, which is what everybody goes by. But it was not in the original theatrical production.
Nope, it was one of the things that they said, oh, we can cut this out. It doesn't really have to. And it doesn't really have to be there.
No, it doesn't.
But it's one of those where, you know, George says to Harrison Ford, you know, he sings something, and he's like, I don't really know what I should sing. He's like, well, whatever comes to your mind. And then he figured, okay, well, Bob Falfa likes South Pacific, so he sings Some Enchanted Evening, which I think happened earlier in when she was in the car, because now they're at the race, but
Yeah, did that scene happen earlier?
it must have. Yeah.
Okay, because I thought it was later, right before the race, that he was trying to
No, it
seduce her or
must have
whatever.
been earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, now everybody notices, because now the sun's coming up, everyone notices she's in the car. Here's the big showdown, guys. Oh, I love over there in Discord, Matt posted a gif of a Wolfman. Miss Swift, the picture of baby Wolfman Jack. How young he looks.
Miss Swift, Funky Cold Medina. Nice.
Oh, yeah. I love that song, Tone Loc.
Yeah. And they had
And Wipeout.
one shot to flip the car.
Well, in the 60s, I don't think seat belts were mandatory.
Nope.
More than likely, they would not have been belted in.
Nope.
And more than likely, they would not be walking out of that vehicle.
Depends if the hood crushed in or not.
The cars back then were not made to be crushed.
No.
They were made strong and made to withstand impact, which meant that the occupants inside were the ones that absorbed the impact. Oh yeah, Matt, great line. Falfa's about to do the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Yeah.
It's great. And I think he failed.
Mm-hmm. And there's Steve and Laurie getting back together.
Yeah, I don't like that line. The only thing I don't like about this movie is that Steve's character, when he makes that switch, I'm not going to leave you. You know, that it's kind of a cringe moment.
It is.
Ooh, yeah, dude, you need to go.
Yeah. And this bit here with Milner and Terry, because they shot this the day before they thought they were going to, didn't have the script. They just knew they were going to be walking back to the car. 100% improv. It's like, I don't have the script memorized. Like, yeah, we'll just say stuff.
Interesting. I did not know that, but it fits.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely fits with their character, fits with the movie.
Ooh, pardon me. It's one of those where they went and shot the dawn stuff a couple of times because as the sun's coming up, you can't really redo it same day because the sun's going to do what the sun's going to do.
Yeah, that's right. And we are going to, in the last 5 minutes, we're going to have this big outro, this big wrap up of Kurt's night and where he's going in life. It doesn't appear, in my impression is that this movie really isn't about one person. There's no one star. There's no one central story. But I love how they're wrapping up his story in the end here. Oh, Matt is saying the actress had wrapped and were leaving, but told to get back in wardrobe and finish this scene. Really, Miss Swift said there was a Kay Lenz cameo in here, but I missed it. Was she at the? Was she in the previous scene for the race? I totally missed her.
Or is she at the? No, she can't be going to the airplane because that's.
Or is it here? She's got a very distinctive look, so it's really hard to miss her.
That's Kurt's mom and dad, Steve and Laurie.
So this would have had to be, oh, Miss Swift is saying she played someone called Jane. I did not know that. She was probably a spectator, I'm guessing. So Kurt is getting his nice send-off and kind of wrapping up his time with them to going on to bigger and better things. I just love it. These cars just drove right up there to the plane. Just walked right up there.
Onto the tarmac.
Onto the tarmac.
Well,
this is how it used to be.
If you're at a small enough airport, you still do that. Like at my little local airport, if I'm taking a connecting flight to a larger place, I can check all my bags through locally, which has got like a like a 1 or 2 takeoff runway, and you're in a smaller airplane going to the larger airport. But yeah, you still walk out to the airplane.
Ooh, Chaosphere is saying they all ended up in Full Metal Jacket.
No, not quite. Though seeing Paul Martin Smith, imagining Paul Martin Smith in the opening 20 minutes of Full Metal Jacket would be interesting.
That would be an interesting movie to do. I've considered it. And he's seeing the gal in the Thunderbird. One of the original rights of this screenplay, her character, Suzanne Summers' character in that Thunderbird, were supposed to be imaginary.
Yep. Like, was it all a figment of his imagination? Yep.
Yep.
And here,
Matt is saying, yep, the start of Remember When, movies like Fast Times and Dazed and Confused.
and here we had an ending that we would see that sort of like text of what happened to the characters. We'd see that happening later with other.
Yeah, and they had this same kind of ending in More American Graffiti with a little twist.
Charlie Martin Smith would go on to die in an elevator in The Untouchables.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen that movie.
He was in The Untouchables with Costner and Connery and Garcia. One of those ones where you go, what's he doing in this movie? It's like, oh yeah, he's the accountant. Follow the money.
Yeah, Mr. Furzel. Yeah, John and Toad died. It is dark. However, Terry's character, there's a twist to that. His character is a prominent character in the sequel. It's interesting. So I'll recommend the sequel, but just barely. Right? It's an okay watch. You're not probably going to regret 2 hours that you want to get back. It's a nice continuation of these characters, minus Richard Dreyfuss. All right, guys. Well, it looks like. Oh, yep. Sister posted a cheese rating. This is going to be a good one. I have only seen this one other time. Not my thing, but love what comes next from Lucas. Wife's cheese rating. American Graffiti is a film that is funny and unsentimental to the end. It is comedy drama capturing early rock and roll and car culture, with the nostalgia for youth culture, innocence, and the transition from adolescence to adulthood, which features breakout early performances from future stars like Ron Howard, Richard Dreyfuss, to name a few. Just like the De Leche de
Bourgeonne.
Bourgeonne, thank you for that. Cheese, a breakout star from the Burgundy region of France. It is a rich, decadent French triple cream cheese known for its voluptuous, velvety consistency and is sometimes nicknamed divorce cheese due to its richness. That's a good one. Both cheese and movie made in the 70s and are coming of age. So I say go to Burgundy, France and watch the movie. You will not regret it. I like that. Thank you very much.
And this has got to have one of the fastest end credit sequences of any movie we've done. Because it's done.
It's done. Yep. Mr. Furzel is saying, first time watching, I usually don't like. That's an interesting long word. Build a grunsome flicks. And this was slow moving at first, but the last act was pretty good. Epilogues were dark, though, worth watching.
Yeah.
Miss Swift, her cheese rating is I thought it would be Cheese Whiz, a uniquely American innovation. Yes, Cheese Whiz is that. Oh, yeah, Johnny Devick, wait for the flames to die out in France before chasing cheese there. Yeah, I hear it's, yeah, pretty bad.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. It means coming of age. Thank you very much, Mr. Furzel. Well, I am glad you all came today for this movie. It has been a lot of fun. and
Yep.
a lot of reminiscing back to the 60s and 70s and 80s, which I love to do. I love reminiscing about the way it used to be without forgetting how things are today, because there's a lot of good things going on in the world today.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, there are still a lot of good things going on.
Yep.
So next week we have The Burbs.
Yep.
Um,
The Tom Hanks,
Carrie
Fel-
Fisher.
Carrie Fisher, Corey Feldman, Brother Theodore.
Yep.
I'm blanking on the damn directors. Joe Dante.
Yep. We've got a lot to enjoy for next week's venture. Oh, Chaosphere is saying solid film. Have to give it another tire spin. Ha ha. But bum.
Bruce Dern. Yes, Mad Matt.
Yes, Bruce Dern. Thank you, Matt. Sister, you're right. This does have a baller soundtrack, no doubt. And mirrored with GH saying the soundtrack alone was worth it. Check out the soundtrack on some of the streaming services or pick up the CD. I think there's a double CD
Yep.
somewhere, probably on eBay.
Oh, double CD should be in print. The record is still in
Ooh.
print. It
I'm
won't be.
not surprised. I didn't think
It,
they were printing CDs anymore.
no, they are. The record is not going to be cheap, being that it's a double record. So expect to pay over $50.
Yeah, but that's kind of encouraging. They're still printing CDs. So
Yep.
that shows there's a market for it.
Yes.
There you go. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Alex, for being here.
Fun as always.
I appreciate all of you being here and enjoying these movies with us. A little slice of the way they made them back in the day and also the way they make them today. I love all movies, all time periods. I just love the art of filmmaking, and I love that you guys all share that with me, and we can enjoy it together every Sunday.
Mad Matt, are you having hallucinations of Columbia House? 12 for a penny? No.
Maybe, you know what? If someone is trying to drop their, get rid of their
Collection?
CD collections,
Maybe. But
you're
saw
buying a
12 for
lot.
penny. Yeah, you might luck out. Because even
Yeah,
on
they're out there.
that used record sales, the American Graffiti soundtrack is out and about for less than $10, previously enjoyed. So
Oh, I might have to check that out.
yeah,
All right. Well, you all have a safe week. Have a great week. We'll do this again next Sunday with
same
the
bat
Burbs.
time, same bat channel.
Yep, same bat time, same bat channel, and be good to yourself all. Bye.
Bye bye.